Well, hello everybody. My name is Dan Hanson. To Linda, the family, friends of Param, it's a great loss. I'm honored to be able to hear to talk about my friend. I've been in this room once before. That was in 2012 after the Oak Tree tragedy, when the room was full and the community came together because of people like Param to show the Sikh community had the support of the Cleveland community after that tragic shooting in Wisconsin. And now I'm here today for another sad occasion. I have to come back sometime when it's a little happier. Obviously, I'm not Indian, I'm not Sikh, but Paramjit taught me so much about the faith, and we became really good friends. I didn't really know any Indians, and certainly not any Sikhs growing up. When we started ClevelandPeople.com in maybe 2005 or so, we met some people, met Ashram and Venki Venkatesh at the FICA Community Center, and then met Param. And when the Indian community put together the cultural garden with that statue of Gandhi, that's when things really, we started to really see the community come together. And Param was the first one to say, Cleveland's the only city in the world with a statue of Gandhi on a street named for Dr. King, and he was very proud of that. He was a proud Clevelander, obviously a proud Sikh. So we got to know each other, we talked, and I was completely ignorant. So I would ask him very basic questions, and he would answer them, and some were on video. And like once after a city club, I said, just what do you believe? And he said, there's basically, I'll probably mess this up, so you guys certainly could correct me. There's three pillars to the faith. One is to work hard and add value to the world. Another is to meditate and keep the Lord's name in your mind. And third is to share your fortune and help people less fortunate. Is that kind of close? Okay. So, and it's hard to argue with that. I don't care what faith or religion you are. So we kept talking over the years. I learned Sikhism was the 5th largest religion in the world, which I had no idea, and I don't think most people in the U.S. at least know that. He told me about the turban, the beard, the bracelet, I forgot what the little sword is called. But he taught me that stuff. The kirpan. He told me the stories of after 9/11 when people called him Osama bin Laden and some of the garbage he had to go through because of how he looked. But, there's a Bible verse. I'm Catholic, and in the Bible it says, don't put your light under a basket. And I think that's one of the things I learned about Sikhs from Param and others. There's no hiding. No one's pretending to be something else. You see the turban, the beard, the bracelet, the kirpan, you know that's Sikh, you know what they believe in the faith, and I just have so much respect for that. So he was a serious guy, smart guy, but he has a sense of humor. I remember at the Cleveland Asian Festival, when that was starting, they wanted to march in the St. Patrick's Day parade. So I'm down there and I see the Cleveland Asian Festival group marching down, and here's Param marching and waving at everyone, making friends, big grin on his face. He's got a green turban on. So he brought his green turban for St. Patrick's Day. It was really cool. He had a blast. When we started talking about the Cleveland International Hall of Fame, we started doing research on some of the people who had been nominated. And we learned what a pioneer he was. I think he came here in '62, but he was the first person to graduate from Case with the turban instead of the mortarboard. And he did a lot of things like that that now you just take for granted, but someone had to be first, and a lot of times that was Param. So he was a unanimous choice for the first class of the Cleveland International Hall of Fame. And that was with people like Senator George Voinovich, Margaret Wong, Leo Weidenthal, the founder of the Cultural Gardens, and people like that. So at that event, Mona Log inducted him. And you'll remember this, Mona. So he's giving his speech, and at the end he says, I want to sing a song. And we're all thinking, it's kind of weird. But so there's a Cole Porter song called I Love Paris in the Springtime. So Param's up there after speech, and he starts singing I Love Cleveland in the Springtime. And he owned that room. Everyone was getting up. Albert there singing with his wife, and people are clapping, and he just really owned the room. He was a rock star that night. So every year after, we have a holiday lunch, and my mom would always ask Param to sing that song at the lunch. He always did. It was really cool. So he said, we're doing ClevelandPeople.com. He said, you need a Sikh section. I said, we have an Indian section. He goes, no, there's a lot of religions in India, which I've since learned. I didn't know at the time as well. And so he helped me create this Sikh section, which is a lot of content and local stuff, but also big news, like when Sikhs could wear turbans in the military and things like that. And then he went on. He always had some big visions. He worked to make Cleveland the 73rd city of peace and nonviolence in the world. No one really knew what that meant. So he said, let's get people involved. Talk about enrolling people. So he said, what if we had a wall? We built a wall, and the people could pledge to live a life like Gandhi and Dr. King of nonviolence and peace. And logistically we couldn't do that. So one day he says, let's build a cyber wall. I said, now you're talking my language. So we put up on the website the cyber wall of peace and nonviolence. And what people could do, they could go in and pledge by an email signature, basically. And the cyber wall pledge says, I pledge to treat others the way I would like to be treated, stand against hate, injustice, and intolerance, commit to being truthful and loving, and work in my daily life for justice, equality, human rights, and righting wrongs using nonviolence methodology, the ideals for which Mahatma Gandhi and Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. gave their lives. So we didn't promote it a lot. This was really before social media got really big, but there's still over 1,000 signatures on it. It's still up there. You can still sign in. We've got cards on it. But read the comments that people of it. It's not just Sikhs. It's not just Indians. It's from the broader community. It's really cool. So one last thing, he's a man of action. He worked with Micah to start Project Seva, and they were always doing great stuff. He'd call and say, we're giving away 300 coats to the homeless this weekend. You got to come. Or we're giving away blankets, or we're feeding some group. The one that stands out for me, and I've told this story before, so some of you may have heard it, but he said, you got to come to this Christmas party we're having at a West Side church. So, okay, I went. It's happened to be St. Casimir's Church in about West 65th. So we're in the basement there, and I'm standing with Param, we're looking over, and I had this surreal moment, because I'm standing here with my Sikh friend in an Irish Catholic church whose pastor is from Tanzania, watching a predominantly African American audience listen to another Indian friend play Feliz Navidad, a Puerto Rican song, on the saxophone. And it was surreal. And I thought, this is what the world should be. This is what Cleveland could be. And all is because of the work of Param. There's a lot of stories like that. He'll be greatly missed. My mom loved Param. My sister Debbie wishes she could be here. We're going to miss him a lot. He was just a great man. And I guess the best tribute we can do is just to keep that great work that he started and try to continue that. So thank you.